old camera. So if this doesn't go through for this video, I'm going to do a written video, or a written review, sorry. But I have another book to review. It is the fourth installment, I think it's the fourth, of the Stephen King Dark Tower series, Wizard and Glass. Now, I thought I had read the entire series of Stephen King a while back, but I don't remember half of what was in this book. I remember the first part with Bane the Pain or whatever, but then it gets into Roland's first love and how he fell in love and what happened, and it explains a lot of what was missing in Roland's character, a lot of the heartlessness, a lot of the coldness in Roland's character. This book explains. But I'm going to take a step out here for a minute. For an author who does a lot of horror and that kind of genre, this was basically a Western romance book. And it was done so well. He was able to step out of his regular genre and step into what it would be like for these really young individuals. I think Roland was 14 when he was expected to do stuff for his family and when he went through his early manhood trial. But he was able to get into these two minds and make it believable that these two would fall in love in that short amount of time, that they were, one was willing to play the victim, one was willing to play the rescuer, and that they could be so very passionate and yet very childish about it, and then still go on to the serious things of murder and plots on foot and trying to supersede what grown men have planned. And he was able to get you to the point where you forgot that these were children, but it was still written in there. Like, some of the mistakes he made was because he was young and he didn't think things through, which is interesting for a few things, because Roland, of course, is the hero and you expect him to be perfect all the time. And this is a time when we got to see him more human, more imperfect, more willing to make the mistakes. All of the characters had major in-depth writing about them, from the evil witch right up to like the failed gunslingers. You understood where they were coming from. You understood why they wanted to get rid of and frame these upstarts. It was an incredibly well written book. It was very descriptive. I think Roland might have a secret passion for horses because he explained the horses really well. Everything flowed well, even when he jumped from the tale back in time to the tale in the future to what the new group of people are doing to follow the beam. Like, all of that was so well done. This was one of the best books I have ever read by him. But boy, was it a job to get through. Like, the writing is relatively small, and it's 702 pages. The last few pages is the writing of Bag of Bones, I think. So I didn't read that because then I get into these books and I don't actually have it here, so. But I read the afterword. I love when he writes the afterwards because you can see what he's thinking. He's actually very good at writing afterwards, so that was exciting. All in all, it was a much needed book, one that did show the paths in between. Well written. He had wonderful quotes. I think I had one here. I don't often write down quotes, but he had one. Oh, I may have lost it. Oh, here it is. It was a sad thought, but this was a sad world. That for King is beautiful. It was a sad thought, but this is a sad world, which he does. It is a very sad world. He uses the images in his writing to create a post-apocalyptic. I think what happened is a nuclear bomb went off and these are the survivors, because he brings in the mutation of the animals, he brings in the mutation of people, he brings that all in, and it's there in the background, and when he needs to bring it into the foreground, it's there. Everything he writes about in this book is believable. Even if I told you like a thingy that he uses to describe something that I think is eating the world, like, it just, such a good book, such a very good book, and I think you guys all should read this. King, this is the epitome of King, and even in the afterword, he makes comments as to what this book now is going to intermingle with all the other books he writes, and just, I have no words. You guys have to read it. So I guess I probably should have said spoiler alert, but very, very good book. So, my camera actually behaved, so maybe this is a sign that I'm going to be going in the right direction in my YouTube channel. If this continues, I will continue to use this camera, and we will continue to do the book reviews with this camera. But, yes, Pill. I know, Pill. All in all, Wizard and Glass by Stephen King. Read the entire series and then get to this. Or read the entire series till you get to this. Because you're really taking away from yourself by reading one book at a time. Although you can do it, like you won't get lost. But this fills in so many blanks. So I've got a friend who's reading this after me, so I got to get that to my friend. But I want to thank you guys all. Sorry that this review is a bit rushed. I didn't know how long my camera would last, and it looks like it's behaving. So maybe the next reviews we are going to actually do well with. Thanks so much, guys. I'll let you know when I have another book read.